Oh my god, I forgot to change that video from last time with Travel Fanboy. He's gonna sue me. Welcome to the happy hour.
Oh, I'm surprised
Clumsily
Bethany
started.
made it.
Welcome to the MTM Vegas happy hour.
You guys missed it. Like when we can see each other back screen while that music video is playing, and she's in there doing her makeup and everything, with like 12 seconds left.
Yes. So just in time, we made it. Well, it's good to see you guys. Mark, of course, everybody knows him from the channel, and Bethany, our old friend from Bougie Miles, the YouTube channel and the website, and she's our former senior editor at Miles to Memories. I always like to say I discovered you, but that was just me getting lucky.
You definitely do. I also feel like it's not former, you know. I'm still kind
That's true. Yeah, she's still definitely part of the team as she's here, and we do this.
She's got Vegas voice.
Like, just because you get older, the party girl does not go.
Now it's Bahamas voice, so we'll talk about Bahamar at some point to talk about what it's like to be different in the Bahamas versus Vegas, because I think Bahamar is such a cool place. We should definitely talk about it. I'm excited about that. Mark, what you drinking tonight?
I have a big bottle of Chimay, which is from Belgium. So, good beer, big bottle. It's I got to back up just in case we get through it because I feel like it's gonna go quick. It's going down smooth.
Oh god, so you have a whole bar just off camera to your side.
Yeah, back up
bar.
is Haze Force. My buddy actually named this beer. It's a hazy IPA, and they had a contest, and he came up with Haze Force. It's a cool design and a cool brewery, and he won. So I always brings a smile to my face to drink that one.
Nice. What do you got? What are you drinking, Bethany?
I am drinking some cheap champagne because I didn't have time to go to the store. I think it's called George something Cellars, but it is champagne.
Boone's Farm of Champagne, is that what it is?
It's like, yeah, it's like yes, exactly. No, it's like the wine.com Amex offer.
Nice. Yeah, Bethany is like, you must have like whole rooms full of the wine from all the different Amex offers and all the wine inside. Yeah, I know.
What about you?
So I got a Lagunitas. This is a alcohol free. This is the IPA, a non-alcoholic IPA.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it has probably all of the calories of a normal one, which is terrible without the alcohol. So I don't know how good. I don't know if the value proposition there actually makes sense, but
it's just like eating some bread without the fun stuff.
Pretty much. But this is for Dave because he loves his IPA. So I don't know. I was inspired to get that. So there you go. Like Ripple, but better. So yeah,
I'm guessing Bethany would understand that one. But
no. Oh, is it like the fake rosé?
Maybe.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's probably what it is. They have all those wines too. You know, those fake wines. I know that. I have some friends who like that. I've never tried that. To me, that's grape juice, isn't it? Like non-alcoholic wine. Like now it tastes different.
Rosé is different because it's not like sweet. Maybe, I don't know.
All right. Well, you guys, let's get it out of the way. I know this is happy hour and fun, but I know people wanted to talk about the mask stuff. So instead of being serious about it, Chance is wearing his mask there behind me, his pink tiger mask from Ellie, because that's the first one I could find.
Nice.
So yeah, as of Friday, masks are required indoors in public spaces in Vegas, and both of you, I believe, have been to Vegas during the mask mandates and during COVID, so you know what the experience is, and everybody's sort of freaking out. We did a whole video, so I don't want to repeat that. If you can check on the channel this morning, Mark and I talked about the news and all the details. But how do you guys think casinos are going to deal with this? Because no doubt a lot of people probably canceling trips and sort of bailing out, or at least they're not booking anything. Do you think you're going to see more comps, things like that?
100%. I think like they rolled out the red carpet for us this year, and it's coming back now because of this. So like, I'm not sure if I'm happy about that or not. I think I just want to go to Vegas and have fun at this point.
Yeah, I think I agree. You know, it's a weird. I will say now that it's just indoor, it shouldn't be as bad as before, with having to do it going out to the pool or going outdoor patio eating, all that stuff. So it should be a little bit better with that, but it just doesn't feel quite the same, the trips, it felt like you're missing a little bit of that fun, I will say, like, without having plexiglass and stuff, that makes it a lot better, because that felt weird, sitting at a table and having, plexiglass between you and your neighbor at some places.
Not being
And
able to hear the person next to you for like your life.
yeah,
And then you can't even read the lips. It's like, I'm like,
yeah.
talk to me.
Yeah, and then the dealers, they'll pull down the mask because you can't hear them. They yell through the
And then you
plexiglass.
yell
It's
at,
like,
oh, forget it. Well, okay, so is that what's next? Because that is not what I want.
I don't think so. I think they're just gonna do. But I was wrong about masks too, so I don't know. My feeling is they're gonna do this to try to kind of bottom the curve, or end the kind of end the spike, and level it out a little bit. Because it's not like it's terrible numbers. So I think they're just trying to get ahead of it, would be my guess. But who knows? It is, and it's something that people have to consider, because on our video, a lot of comments were like, "I'm canceling my trip." When I called, they said a ton of people are canceling, because if you're spending a lot of money, you want the full experience. And even without masks, you weren't getting the full experience, but at least you could still kind of fake yourself into it. But
And the
I guess
prices were like way up.
yeah, everything's super expensive this summer, so maybe that's the silver lining. This will bring prices back down, as well as we'll free up some spaces at restaurants and stuff. It won't be so hard to get a table, to get food, to get a drink. So that might work out, because I know Shawn loved COVID Vegas, with walking around without crowds.
Yeah, no people. That's my scene. The absence of people. I did enjoy it. I missed it once it was gone. I didn't realize until all of a sudden there were people everywhere. I sort of forgot what that was like, and sort of got used to that. Especially during the week, if you walk through a casino, it's a lot of times empty, and I did appreciate that. And I mean, there is a definite better energy when there's a lot of people, and it certainly felt a lot more normal without masks. But at least for now, capacity is still 100%. So I feel like that would be a big change if we went back there. I am interested, though, people in the chat, people watching, if you guys are canceling trips or considering it, because like Mark said on our video earlier, there was like people were all over the board on that. And Patty says, I didn't mask up Mickey yet.
Yeah,
Mickey's waiting until Friday. He's waiting until the last minute before the mandate is coming in.
A couple of people did say they felt more comfortable coming too, so I think that will play into it as well a little bit. But I think overall they're going to have more cancellations than they will have people feeling more comfortable going, would be my guess.
I'm wondering, like, was the majority of the commenting like, "Oh my God, I'm so annoyed," or "Thank God, now I'll come"?
I think more.
Both, I think.
Yeah, both, but I think it leaned a little bit more towards people didn't want to have to wear the mask, especially, if they're vaccinated and everything. They felt like, hey, I'm vaccinated, that's why I got a vaccine, so I didn't have to do this type of stuff. So I understand that, and, I also see trying to just level things out. So it's a tough situation, and it's kind of all or nothing, because there's no way to really check things. So it's just going to be either you have it or you don't, because that's the way it is.
Yeah.
I think everybody agrees, though, that we all want cases to go down so we can open more, whether no matter what side you are on the mask thing. So that's good, and hopefully that happens.
I just want 24-hour dining to come back to Vegas. That's
I just want life. I want my life back. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I miss that for sure.
That's the crazy thing. Like, Vegas is about experience, because there's gambling in most states now, and then they kind of had still a little bit of a lure for sports betting, because it wasn't really legal anywhere. And now a ton of states have sports betting. Usually, like, you can drive within a state to get to sports betting and a casino. So, you're going to Vegas for the experience, for the party, for the atmosphere, for the 24 hours, drinking in cabs, all that kind of stuff that is unique. And you're kind of losing that with masks, and you're losing that luster. So it's like, what's the point? I could go downtown Detroit and hit a casino, drink beer, not wear a mask, bet on games, have all similar fun without, paying for flights and hotels and everything. So I think they're going to struggle with that aspect of it.
Wait, so you don't think Detroit is going back?
I don't know. I think it all depends on what state you're in, and if it spikes or not. We got hit pretty hard early on, and then, before, when vaccines first rolled out, we got hit a little hard again. So I don't know if we're kind of like ahead of the curve in that. I think places that didn't get hit hard 3, 4, 5 months ago are going to get hit harder this time around. So it will be a case by case basis, I think.
No, when we have our meetup in September, we need things to be open up so we can have the Mark Level 10 experience, because that's the Vegas that we all know and love and want to get back. So I think that
Although I don't mind that there needs to be sleep, because when it's just
Mark
like,
doesn't sleep. He doesn't
Sleep
sleep.
is for the third day. That's when sleep happens.
it's like they go home and then I sleep for 2 days in my hotel room by myself.
Yeah, and you don't talk for 2 days trying to get your voice back.
It's been 3 days.
Oh man, yeah. I think it will depend on the person and what they're trying to do. Like one guy in the comments said, I wanted to go for, and that's another big thing. Raiders are kicking off, games are starting. You don't know what it's going to be like in the stadium and all that stuff. And one guy was like, "Hey, I was planning on going for Raiders opening weekend and sitting in the sports book and making bets and watching NFL all day." That's a totally different. That the mask comes into play a lot there, versus somebody just coming to walk the strip, hit some restaurants and have some drinks and have a good time. You're not going to be affected as much as somebody that's going to be like in the casino nonstop. So.
Oh, yeah. That's also a place where they're going to constantly be telling you, put the mask up. Like between sips, between bites, it's a little extra than like when you can at least walk outside.
For sure. Now, what everybody should be
doing
doing
would die,
is...
Charlotte. If I get to that level, people would die.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't go past 10. It's just the world explodes past 10. It's just, it's scientifically impossible. The centrifuge just, it's not good. So... No,
I got to a 9.5 the other night, and it was a great night. So
where were you?
I had a golf outing at like my high school, so it was like a fundraiser and golf outing at high school. So we went
High
to
school
my home
playing a sport I can't even imagine. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and well, it was actually the night before. So I meet up. My family lives up there, so I grabbed my cousin and the buddies that were golfing with me came, and we ended up like bar hopping the street I used to bar hop in college and stuff. So. Nostalgia, and you just get kind of into your youngin' days. And I ended up playing cornhole with like some 22-year-olds, and they were texting me at like 2:30 in the morning saying, "We gotta hang out again," and all this stuff because we're playing, and they're like they're beating us, and then we start to come back, and I throw the very last bag, and I yell "game" as soon as I throw it, and it goes right in the hole, and I just walk off.
Legendary, right there.
It's wrong.
So it was pretty fun. It was a good night.
Yeah. You're a legend of the dorm now.
Pretty much.
We're talking about Mark tonight.
What people should do, though, before we move on to more fun things like the Bahamas, check all your bookings, because I have seen prices go down. So people are probably canceling. So make sure, no matter if you're coming or when you're coming, keep an eye on those bookings. Check the prices. Check your comp offers, too, because we may see casinos loosen up comps to fill the rooms as things get canceled, and hoping that this is just a small bump in the road for all that. Anything else to talk about with masks before we move on to?
On that same note, flights too. Today I booked the exact same flight the next seat over, and I got a $160 credit. So do that too, since everything's so flexible right now.
Yeah,
for sure.
And that's a great point by Shawn. Is double check everything, and if you have status with the hotels, match it, and then check a couple days later. Check it all the way up until you go. And I do think, masks they kind of suck, especially in heat. But it might actually make the experience better because there will be less people, less fighting for dining reservations, for bar seats, and all that stuff, which has been kind of the struggle in Vegas. So maybe it will be a happy medium finally, and lower prices.
We'll see.
All right. Let's talk about the Bahamas a little bit, because I think a lot of people don't maybe know that there's these giant casinos in the Bahamas. Yeah. And in Nassau, there's two big ones. Of course, Atlantis, which is my arch nemesis of a hotel, and Baha Mar, which is newer. And it was a project that was like built, and then it sat there abandoned for like 10 years before it ever opened. And then they finally got some investment, and they finally opened, and it's been sort of a hit or miss. They just expanded with a new water park, but they have a huge Vegas-style casino there, which is very bright and I mean, it's a really nice casino, Bethany, right? I mean, how do you think it compares to we'll talk about Atlantis in a minute.
Yeah.
Because I think Atlantis is just a different discussion here. But like,
Okay.
if somebody was like, I guess since you just came back and I've been there, Mark hasn't been there, but his wife's been there. But you know,
Thanks
how
for
do you
roping
think?
that in. Thanks.
How do you think it compares? Like a Bahamas casino vacation compares to like a Vegas casino vacation?
Okay, so well, it's kind of hard not to bring Atlantis into that, but without telling your story.
Well, I
So-
don't care about that. You can bring
Okay.
Atlantis into that. Yeah.
Well, okay, so Baha Mar only opened like 2 years ago, right? Or was it like 4 years ago at this point? And time just goes by so slowly now because we're stuck in our houses. Yeah, it's about 4 years ago, maybe 5. Anyway, so they
1978. It opened in 1978.
I can't write. Who cares?
I don't
Okay.
know if you want Bethany to answer this question right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, so Atlantis, prior to this casino, actually, I believe it still is, was the largest casino in the Caribbean. If you haven't ever been there, you've seen it in the James Bond movies. And it's like a very popular place for gamblers of all ages and sorts, but especially high rollers. So the table limits are always very high. And so when Baha Mar opened, it was like a brand new resort that finally allowed you to gamble, but also not like, it was new, which is great. So their casino is gorgeous. It's not as big as Atlantis, and they have much lower table limits. So you can actually play, which is nice for like a more casual gambler. And here was my, okay, so 2 things happened that were like opposite ends of the spectrum. One, they closed the Pai Gow table, which is devastating to everybody who goes on vacation and likes to gamble. Because basically Pai Gow, well, this is a Vegas YouTube thing, so everybody knows. So, you want to drink and like have fun. And they had $1 progressive on top of the $5 envy bet, which was like awesome. And then they closed that, which totally sucked. I was so disappointed. But they opened a $10 craps table inside the water park. Like, how freaking cool is that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I didn't know they even had tables in the water park. That's pretty awesome.
$10 craps table. You
Mark's booking flights right now. He's like,
Yes.
right.
Be like, kids, just don't drown. I'll be there. Don't worry. Just go.
I'll go back with you. Like, I was like, oh my God, $10 craps, like in the middle of the Bahamas, like outside. It was awesome. So yeah, it's a huge casino and beautiful place.
much nicer hotels than you find in Atlantis. Maybe you could argue, what is it, the Cove or whatever. Wait, is it Cove? Is it the Cove that's the really high end one?
And the Reef, yeah.
And the Reef,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Cove is like luxury.
But yeah, I mean, you have like Rosewood. You have Grand Hyatt's the big one in Baha Mar, but then you have some really high end brands there as well. It's really
It was cheaper this trip than Hyatt.
yeah. I consider SLS to be on like the same kind of level, but it's just a smaller, more boutique property there. Like the Grand Hyatt there is just massive. I mean, it's just a massive hotel.
I think people don't really realize, like, they hear us talking about Bahamas and gambling, and they like to go to Vegas. And they're like, oh, Bahamas, that sounds expensive. But you can fly to the Bahamas right now probably cheaper than you paid for your ticket to Vegas, which is really crazy when you think about it. But you could, it's like legit, because I'm trying to fly to Vegas in September, and it was $600-700 round trip, and I could have gone to the Bahamas for $400 or less. So it is something that you should consider, and there's often deals for it. You can try to get comps, maybe reach out to their the Players Club and try to match status or whatever, and show them your playthrough and see what they'll do. I don't know if they're very forthcoming with that, but there's always been the Caesars link to Atlantis as well, where you'd get the couple free nights if you're Diamond Plus. So you can work that into it.
And then at times, MGM and Wynn have been associated with the Baha Mar Casino, but it's never like been like a lasting thing.
Yeah. Do you usually, because you've been there a few times, do they end up giving you comp rooms? How do you notice? Like, are they pretty giving with that type of stuff, unlike MGM Detroit?
So you have to call. Yeah, right, exactly. You have to call, and I've generally been lucky. And then I just got an email saying that like I had 2 comps per week for a little while. Just based on like the 2 nights I played there. So like I wasn't playing nothing. I was playing between 50 and 100 a hand. And I played for like, I don't know, like 4 to 5 hours a sesh. But just that night for 2 nights.
Yeah, so that's pretty good
profitable.
comps. That's pretty good comps for that level of play.
Yeah.
Vegas,
But
you
they
might
don't
not
do
even
like
get that.
comps. It's not like you don't like look at your card and say like, oh, I have $30 off now.
Yeah, it's just free rooms, basically, is what they do.
Mm-hmm. Or they'll take something off your bill at the end. They did that last year. Like they were like, oh, we'll give you the free dinners or whatever. Which is
big.
Yeah,
because it's really
expensive to eat. It's really expensive to eat there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing about the Bahamas that always gets me is the airport taxes. The departure taxes at the airport are really high. It's like $100+ a person to do that. So I never liked that. But I do want to get back and go to that water park, and then I really want. I mean, I love the water park at Atlantis too. Like I really do love the water park at Atlantis, but I hate the hotels there. Or at least I need to. At least if I'm going to stay there again, stay at like the Cove. I can't stay there. They actually invited me. So in early 2020, I had this really bad experience there where my room flooded, and I had a manager accuse me of flooding the room, despite the whole fact that the whole tower got flooded. And she's like, "We don't know. We're still investigating it." And I wrote about it on the website. It was like this incredibly insane thing to the point where
that was from the Caesar's Diamond offer, right? The night.
Yeah. Back then, you could with your diamond. Well, the first time I went to Atlantis, I was with Caesar's Diamond that I got through Founder's Card, and back then you stayed in the beach towers. And so we arrived in the Bahamas at like 11 o'clock at night, arrived to Atlantis after midnight, and then we get to these beach towers, which is like the old hotel from the 1960s that they bought before they built Atlantis. Don't bring a party of 5. Yeah, exactly. It adds up. Those tickets do. So we get to this room, and we go down this hallway, and like there's trash everywhere. It looks like a prison. Like we got into a prison, but it's midnight. We need to go to sleep. So we get into our room and we just fall asleep. Then the next day we wake up, we look out the window, and it's like this tiny window, and you have like this rooftop view. You don't see any ocean or anything like that. Then we go and look, and the door to our room, the lock didn't work. So actually our room was unlocked the whole night. There was no way to lock the door. It didn't click. It didn't latch. So I went down, and they gave me a nicer view. So I had a nicer view for that thing. And then it was fine. And then on this last trip, yeah, I got another couple nights free, and this time it was in the Royal Towers, which is that iconic tower that everybody knows from TV.
That's 2 upgrades, by the way.
Yeah, no, I was excited. That's the only reason I'd go back, as I would never stay in the beach towers again. And the Coral Towers, they have recently renovated them. That's the one in between, are fine. But they also I saw a leak in that tower when I was there last time. But anyway, we were at the Royal Towers. I was excited for this. I'm like, okay, I'm finally in the real tower. Let's forget that first trip with the room that didn't lock, the prison building, all of that stuff. And we go down for the day, and basically our whole room floods. And then I get into this fight with the manager who accuses me of that. So the next day, the general manager comes down, and he's like, well, we'll comp your room. I'm like, well, my room was already comped. Like, what do you? And I was like, So he agreed to like waive the resort fee. I think it was something. I was just like, all right, fine, just get me out of here. Yeah. So after that, though, because it kind of went viral and stuff, their head of public relations for their PR firm out of New York reaches out to me and is like, we would like for you to come back to Atlantis. We'll pay for everything. We'll put you up. And I said, no, I don't want to go back there. I was like, I'm sorry. And, and now I'm kind of like, well, I could have gotten, a very nice trip out of that, right? Because they would have, I'm sure, treated me very well. But I just don't like that. I wish that they could get somebody in charge of that hotel that knew what they were doing. And the casino, I don't like. Like, Bahamas Casino is much nicer, much more open, much prettier. Like, the Atlantis Casino has low ceilings. It feels very kind of cramped to me. It's
and
very
then even
smoky.
like the aquariums and stuff were leaking in the lobby, right? If I remember, and all the water features that you didn't swim in, but you could just see it were like fungusy green and just didn't look like it was taken care of.
There's the article on the website is crazy because it has all the pictures of just how that place was falling apart in early 2020. I wonder how COVID has treated them. I know they were closed for a long time. They reopened. But they were in the process. They have a company that owns them that's trying to sell them, and it's been sort of like a rocky financial history. And their place costs a ton of money to run just because of all the aquariums and all the pools and like their fixed costs are really high. So I can imagine like if they don't have high occupancy, how it would be. But anyway, yeah, Atlantis. They're my arch. Now Mark says I flooded the building. He says I take a wrench out
Everywhere he
everywhere.
goes, he breaks a pipe on purpose.
I was
Get a free room.
James in our Facebook group last night, and he said when I went there, the whole floor flooded. I was like, wait, that happened to you too?
Yeah, how does it happen? That's just
Yeah.
crazy. I don't understand it.
But
And it's always
want to say. Oh, go
it's
ahead.
been like a resort that people like prop up there because you see the bridge tower suite in all the movies and everybody thinks it's like this great aspirational property and then and it probably was when it opened, but
Well,
it's had a lot of
when you go to
had a lot of issues.
you don't have like sand or a beach, so then you kind of get to have the best of both worlds, except that the hotel part is awful. But
Yeah, and I will say, I've never been to Baja Mar, but I went to the property that was on the site before that, and I even gambled at the Crystal Wyndham Palace, which was like this tiny little casino.
was it the Malia before? Now it's the Malia.
Yeah, where I stayed is now the Malia. It was a Radisson before, so like it's still there. It's right next door, but then the Wyndham is where they stayed when they're building, like where all the workers stayed and everything while they're building the Baja Mar. And that I will say, Cable Beach, like out that way, is the nicest beach I think in the Bahamas. So I think that's another plus for picking that over Atlantis if you're going to gamble. You have a nice beach, now a water park, awesome pools, and the best sand you can find really on the island, in my opinion.
But can I tell you that the water park is like night and day? Like Atlantis was okay. This water park is like Splish Splash. It's like a real, legit.
Is that a quote? This water park is
This
like
this
Splish
water
Splash.
park is Splish Splash. You're getting Shawn excited. We're live on air. You better calm down with this telling.
Oh yeah, I'm booking my ticket.
It was amazing. It was so scary too. Yeah, I'll send you guys pictures. It was.
I'm
amazing.
so nerdy though because I want to wait till the Grand Club reopens because with my globalist status, I'm missing out on the lounge access.
Oh, they did better. They gave us like whatever we wanted. Basically, we ordered like $400 worth of breakfast every morning, and they just comped the whole thing.
Sounds
And
good
they
to
gave
me.
us 40 drink tickets. I did so much better than I would have with the Grand Club. So you should go.
Well, now I'm really intrigued. I might have to figure out a trip to get down there and pay the stupid airport
I want
taxes.
to go again.
So what were the COVID requirements real quick? You have to have a test going and coming or what?
Yeah, so you had to do a negative PCR or vaccine. Then when you got there, if you weren't vaccinated, you had to do nasal. And then everybody had to do it when they were leaving. And it's like a $40 travel visa. So you pay the $40, they approve your application, and that's the end of it. It was nice because everybody had to do it on the way home. So you didn't feel like, not bad. Although every single person at the resort said they were not vaccinated. So that might give people pause.
Yeah, the tricky world we live in today. Yeah. All right. Well, interesting stuff. But I will give that water park a try. That will be my return to the Bahamas. I will either stay in that Choice Hotels for one night to get access to Atlantis because I do love Atlantis has this rapids lazy river that's unlike any other park I've been to. I agree with you. The slides at Baja Mar, because they're newer, they look really cool. But Baja Mar only has a regular lazy river. It doesn't have this rapid. So I would be nerdy enough that I would want to get one day. No, I'm not complaining. I'm saying that I would want to slum it over at Atlantis for one night. So I'll stay in the Choice. What is the Choice Hotels that's right there?
Yeah, I was
That's
going to say
a good
the
tip,
comfort. That's a good tip is the Comfort Inn and Suites, which is right next door down the street from the Atlantis. I kind of think it's like it might be even better because one, you're saving money. Two, you get away from all the crowds because the Atlantis gets really busy, but you get access to all of the Atlantis water parks. They basically like share them. So, I mean, it's probably a pain to walk a little bit, but a lot of people do that if you're cruising through the Bahamas. They'll use points or whatever, or just book the hotel because it would actually be cheaper to book a hotel room there than pay the day rates at Atlantis to get access to the water park. So those are two good tips if you are cruising or staying down there. Definitely check it out.
And that hotel's actually closer than like the beach towers where I stayed on my first trip. That hotel, even though it's outside the complex, is closer to the pool area or most of the pool areas than that, and it's closer to like the mall and the restaurants, a lot of that stuff. So that's probably where I'll stay for one night, and then I do the rest at Baja Mar. Although like just getting a taxi between the two is like $1 million. So everything in the Bahamas is expensive.
Ride. No, you're crazy. It's like a ride to go to Atlantis. Do the water park once and then build it in at the end.
Yeah. No, I have enjoyed, despite my troubles at Atlantis, I have enjoyed the Bahamas on each of my trips. I've also been there to Nassau off a cruise ship a couple times, and I have enjoyed it every time. So Mark, I know, stayed at there's a nice Hilton down near the cruise ship docks that he likes as well. So, yeah, I think we're all fans.
Yeah, that one's right in the heart of downtown. So if you want to bar hop or go to restaurants and stuff, it's a good option. There's not much of a beach there, and it's a smaller property, but we like it at least for a couple nights of the stay because you can do everything downtown.
They have a 10 p.m. curfew, and like if you're not back at your hotel, you're.
Oh well, man. Nothing fun happens before 10 p.m. Come on.
Not for you.
So Atlantis, so you think Bahamas or Macau, Bethany? Which game?
Bahamas.
Yeah, you don't like Macau. Yeah, you don't like Macau, huh?
I wasn't allowed to cheer when I won a hand. That sucked. Also, you can't find a drink for your life. Clearly, I like a drink.
Boone's Farm champagne. I like it.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say I found used or cooked ramen in my coffee maker at Atlantis in the room that flooded. I forgot that part. Thanks, Mark, for.
Oh, that's where it was. I couldn't remember where.
Yeah, it was in the coffee maker. Jasmine went to go like put water in the coffee maker, and there was ramen in the like water well in there. That was the start of that day, and then the flood happened later that day, and then that night ended with the manager accusing me of saying, "Hey, we're investigating it. We still haven't ruled out that you flooded the room."
It is kind of genius to bring ramen though, because it packs pretty easy in your suitcase and make it easy.
That's why I don't want to use coffee makers in rooms that are not like Keurig or something with a pod.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's probably bad. But
although using just coffee cup, I don't like using glass cups because if you look at maid carts, how often do you see glassware on them? Not very often. And what are they cleaning those glasses with then? Sometimes Windex, sometimes just water. You don't know. So paper cups.
Like that. Yeah.
Wait, is Sam Marshall? That has to be our friend PDX.
Yeah, we know that is.
There, am I talking about my wrench again? So, Mark, you want to talk about MGM Grand Detroit? Because to me, the hotel room looked exactly like Aria's hotel room, but I didn't look that closely. But you said you stayed there, and then there was trash all over the. No, they didn't vacuum it. What happened? At
MGM so like I've stayed at the other two casinos in Detroit. I'd never stayed at MGM because it was always like $250, $300 a night, and I thought that was like insane. So I gambled there like a month ago, and I noticed during my vacation that there was a comp night for during the midweek. So I said, well, I'll go down there and check it out. I've always looked at the pictures of the pool area and stuff, and it looks really cool. So I check in. The check-in experience was good. The front desk agent was awesome. I go check out the pool area. It's like a zero entry pool with like all these day beds and stuff. It's an indoor pool with cool like Asian lights hanging down, and it just was a really sexy looking indoor pool. Like it's weird to say, but most indoor pools just feel like you're in a basement and it smells like chlorine. And this was actually really well done. And they had a really nice workout area. The spa looks beautiful. They have a locker room that you can.
Do they charge for the pool there?
No.
Like in Atlantic City. What's up with Atlantic City charging like Harris charging to use the pool?
$10.
Like I never heard of such a thing. That's crazy.
Is that all? Sorry. Is that all Atlantic City pools, Bethany, or is that probably just Caesars because it's
no?
Caesars.
So like at the Borgata, you used to not even have access to the pool if you weren't staying in the water tower. Like you were only allowed one. Yeah, and then they started doing like the weird thing where they split the two and then started charging a resort fee.
Which is crazy because, you have a beach there, and which isn't a great beach, but you have that option. If you're staying on the boardwalk in Borgata, you're not near it, but why would they do that? I don't know.
Dave told me it was always, that's always been a thing at the hotels there with the pool, charging separately. The Harrah's did for Diamond, you got two people free, but.
Is Harrah's the one that has like the tropical dome pool
Yeah.
there
yeah.
that looks pretty cool. It does look cool. So
It does look really nice in there. Yeah.
It's probably worth the $10.
City to hang out at the pool and beach. It's like a 2-day trip.
Yeah. And it's usually so gray outside, so you're just gonna go sit in the dome with the gray everything out there and all the bird poop along the boardwalk.
Yeah, we tried. We like went and got some Dunkin' Donuts the one time we stayed in Atlantic City, and we're like, hey, let's go walk the beach while we eat our breakfast or whatever. And we passed like 7 bums. We're like, all right, turning around and going back.
Didn't you leave early?
Yeah, we ended up, we were supposed to stay 2 nights, and after the first night, we were like, okay, let's go to Philadelphia and hang out. So we drove back to Philadelphia and had a really good night in Philly. So
should have gone to Steel Pier and rode roller coasters like I did.
Philly's a very underrated city. But anyway, back to gambling in Detroit. So the main lobby, like the lobby, the walk-in area, all that stuff is really beautiful, well done, clean. Pool is amazing. And then I get up to the room. And it looks a little dated. It looks very like early 2000s-y, darker woods, dark like maroonish colors on the wall. And in the shower, it has like a maroon glass like stripe down, so you can see it in the bathroom or when you're in the main room, but you can't like see through it. It's not like the Vegas where you have a peep show, even if you don't want it, type of thing. And I mean, I was like, oh, this looks a little bit dated. It's still nice, but I definitely wouldn't pay like $200-$300 for it. And then I look down and there's like, peanut shells, cracker crumbs, hairs, lint, all over the floor. And I mean, unless the last people were really messy, it doesn't look like it's been vacuumed in a little while. And I don't know, the bed looked perfectly made and everything, so I don't know if, they have somebody come and vacuum in the rooms and they have a different person, arrange everything and do it. I don't know if that's the setup and somebody just missed it. So I wasn't planning on staying there, and that definitely kind of sealed the deal. I was like, I'm not even going to go argue with them. So I just wanted to check it out and see what it was like, and I went downstairs and gambled for 4 or 5 hours and lost a lot of money and got almost no comps for it.
So they really got you on this. So not only you lost a lot of money, but then you got the crappy hotel room.
I
man.
was picking up my dad from the airport at like 10 p.m. and I got there at like 4 p.m. So I checked out all the hotel stuff and then went downstairs. I was like, all right, I got some time to burn. And I wanted to put some, play in because I've never done anything at MGM. I wanted to see kind of how their system works. And I didn't even do the match from Hyatt to M Life where I could have got gold before because I really wanted to see how this all works and compared to, my previous experience with Caesars. The first time I went there, I got decent amount of tier credits and rewards credits, and I didn't gamble a ton. So I was like, okay, but the pit boss really liked me. So I think she kind of like beefed it up for me. And I spent 4 hours. I was gambling probably an average of $150 a hand because I was playing 2 hands of blackjack. Lost quite a bit of money. And at the end of it, I ended up getting $20 in comps and like 3,000 tier credits. And I was like, this is some bull. Like, what? I'm trying to see if MGM's worth going to. And, and I've noticed this before too. If you're not in Vegas, I think Vegas comps like 2 to 3 times better than anywhere else. Like Atlantic City, New Orleans actually comps pretty well, but like Detroit, Canada, other places I've been, it doesn't seem to comp at the same level as Vegas, which I don't get. It's the same program, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get some more free rooms with dirty floors from Detroit. I don't know.
Well, hopefully you'll get some rooms in Vegas. So hopefully this will trigger some more Vegas comps.
So the problem, with MGM, they look for a long session. Long. Like the one time I put in 13 hours, I've never not had comp since. That was like many.
So I do that in Vegas. I'll do like a 10 and 12 hour session, but I couldn't win anywhere in Detroit. So I would have, but they were just like robbing me, picking my pocket right and left. I couldn't get on a roll. I think we had a streak where we won like 4 or 5 hands, and that was like the only streak I had of over 2 hands.
Did you go to Greektown too?
No, I didn't go down to Greektown.
See my favorite security guard?
Yeah, no. So, a crazy story. So, we're sitting there, and MGM loves to, steal games that have been made, but rename them and change the pay tables so they don't have to pay the person that created the games. Like, instead of 21 plus 3, it's Trillion or whatever, like some stupid thing. And, like, I sit at this one, I'm like, what's this caboose, whatever? I forget what it's called. And they're like, oh, it's just Spanish with different payouts. I look at it, I'm like, oh, so lower payouts? So one, you're not paying for the fees, the naming fees, the rights, and then you screw the player too? Oh, that's awesome. So, anyways, we're we're sitting at the Trillion, which is 21 plus 3, and instead of having like, if you have a flush, you get 5 times. If you have a straight, you get 10 times. You know, and it goes up, escalates up. It's just everything is 9 times, which works out in people's favor somewhat because you hit flushes and straights more than anything. So when you're hitting a flush, it's better. But then they also have the Trillion 3000 or whatever, which is a different side bet that only if you get a straight flush, trips, or perfect trips, where it's like Queen of Hearts, Queen of Hearts, Queen of Hearts, you get like this extra bonus. So it's a big sucker bet.
Not even like all 3 have to be the same. How many decks?
Yeah, all three have to be the same. So it has to be like a Queen of Hearts. It has to be like a perfect pair
And how
3-way.
many
Like,
decks are in the game?
so that you could that was the one bet, and then there was just 3-card poker was the other bet, plus blackjack. So
That's bad.
yeah, so it's a sucker bet, but we're all suckers. So we're sitting there betting it, and this one guy had been
Speak
playing
for
25.
yourself.
I love
this one guy had been playing $25 on each bonus bet. He gets up and leaves, and this other lady sits down, and probably like 5 or 6 hands later, we had gone through like 4 or 5 shoes. I'm like, dude, somebody's gonna hit. I've always hit like a straight flush or 3 of a kind pretty much every time I played that game. So I'm like, somebody's going to hit. This table is going to hit. And that lady, 5 hands in, she had $30 on it and hit the 3 perfects for $8,100. And me and the guy next to me are like, oh yeah, oh. And she's sitting there with like a deadpan straight face.
Oh,
Doesn't
with her $30, that's what she was supposed to get.
Yeah, with 30, yeah. She was like, oh, whatever, And the funny thing is, the table next to us hit on a $10 bet, so he won $2,700, and he was hooping and hollering, and then she wins $8,100, makes not a peep, and I turn around, I'm like, hey, she thought your $2,700 was a joke, so she squashed you. So we're making jokes, and so she tips the dealer $50, and I was like, wow, that's pretty stingy, but whatever. So like 4 hands later, she puts $1,000 on the hand, and she puts $50 on each bonus bet and hits 3. It's like queen, 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 but it was 2 of the same and 1. So it was like 2 queen of diamonds, 1 of hearts. So we're like, oh, so close to perfect again. She wins like another $4,000, and she still shows no emotion. I'm like, you won $12,000 in the last like 12 minutes. Like, make some noise or something. Buy everybody a drink. I don't know what you need to do, but it was bizarre. I don't know. She probably was in a deep hole. But
Yeah.
it was like the craziest thing I've seen at a blackjack table to win a bonus of that kind of caliber.
Especially that bad of a bet. That's a bad bet.
Yeah. But us suckers, we like it. It's like playing slots.
All right, I have a question for people watching out there, because my son's 21st birthday is in a few weeks, and we're still debating on where to take him for dinner, and I would love suggestions from people on where they think we should go for his 21st birthday, because it's kind of like this debate between you want something too fancy, something more fun. And he's kind of in between. He doesn't really care, so I don't know. We're going back and forth. So
Does Shawn Reese really not care, or does he have a preference? And you guys are
he really doesn't care. I think he wants to go somewhere nice, so we're not going to take him to Red Lobster or something. But I don't know that he wants something fancy.
Okay.
That's too because he's 21. You want something a little bit more fun. So
He also wants food he likes to eat.
Yeah. I mean, he likes okay food. I mean, he's not Mark.
Take
He
him
eats
for
more
pizza.
than 10 foods. Yeah.
Pizza.
That's right. Yeah, take a
You
pizza.
can't go
Hut.
wrong with pizza.
The Detroit pizza from Pizza Hut.
Oh no, that thing was an abomination. Don't even.
Is he drinking heavily at this dinner? I'm trying to.
I mean, it's just going to be just us. So, because of everything going on. So, I mean, he's going to be welcome to drink. I would probably not heavily. And then I'm sure he's going to go out later with his friends and all of that stuff. So, I don't know.
Oh, my wife's parents. Oh, go ahead, Bethany.
No, I was saying he should put all the pre-gaming on Shawn's tab.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Oh, okay. After I say what I gotta say, you gotta tell your story about when you flew to Thailand or whatever. But so my wife's parents are very strict, uptight, type of thing. So they take her out to brunch for her birthday, for her 21st birthday, and they're like, "You can have one mimosa," and I was like, "Really?" It's not like you're driving, and it's who's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna have 17 mimosas with my parents. I can't believe you would even try to put a limit on it. But I was like, that is sad. It makes me sad. But tell that I love the. Was it Taiwan? Is that where you guys were going? I forget where it was. Where
Thailand.
you used your Thailand. When he used your credit card, right?
Yeah, I think he did use it, but he was paying for the stuff. But yeah, because I bought it. So he was meeting me in Thailand. This is in 2019, and so he was 19 years old, and I booked him a ticket, and I think he flew from Vegas to LA, LA to Taipei, Taipei to Bangkok, and so he's on his LA to Taipei, and he gets to the airport in Taipei, and somehow figures out that the legal drinking age in Taiwan was 18, and proceeds to like when he meets me in Thailand, he told me, yeah, I had a couple of beers in Taiwan, but I think later on he admitted he had like 5 or 6 beers on his couple hour layover in Taiwan. So now he's all like happy. He's going on to get on the plane to Bangkok though, and he learns pretty quickly that the legal drinking age, I think in Thailand, was 20 or whatever, and he wasn't there. So now he has to like have this little hangover setting in on his flight to Bangkok because he wasn't old enough to drink, and they carded him. So serves him right. Smith and Walensky's is really good. I haven't been there for a long time.
That reminds me of, I got to bring up, of course, I got to bring up the Arby's trip. So I don't know if people watching might not know this, but there was
Drinking
like
game.
Arby's, there was an Arby's contest where you could win a trip to Hawaii for $6 for the Arby's Hawaiian $6 sandwiches. And like we wrote about it on the site and everybody tried and I ended up winning. I was one of 10 people that won. But one of the people that won was like a 17 or 18-year-old senior in high school. So we're on the flight, and we fly to L.A. You know, we hang out in L.A. for a night, go to a Dodgers game, and they take us to the King's Hawaiian Suite and have fun. The next morning, they fly us first class to Honolulu, and we're all sitting up there in first class, like kind of spread out a little bit, but you know, they come around with the rum drinks to start it off with, like the umbrellas and everything. Like, here you go, here's your morning drink, you know, you're going to Hawaii, have fun type of thing.
Nothing better than that, by the way. I mean, on the plane to Hawaii when they get you the Mai Tai, oh my God.
Yeah. Even though it was like 7 in the morning, we're all like, cool, thanks. This is awesome. So anyway, she's walking around just handing out, like they pre-made them and they hand it out to everybody. And she goes to, the kid's name was Thomas, and she goes to hand it to him. And he's like, oh no, ma'am, I'm not 21. I was like, we're all like, are you stupid? What are you doing? Just drink it.
Oh my God. Not my friends.
New MTM drinking game. Every time Mark mentions and I think every time he tells the story now, like the last time he told it, not this time, but he's like, yeah, 100,000 people were trying to enter.
No, they told us
every time he says it, it's like more.
Thank you very much. It's
that number goes up every time you say it.
250,000 people tried to click through, and actually 11 people ended up winning because there was a glitch. And they found out about this glitch. Like if anybody else recognized that there was a glitch, like it could have been endless amounts of people that won. But only one person ended up getting through on the glitch, so that was kind of interesting too.
It would have been like a Stuart Sitch, New York Times guy.
Oh, yeah. What was that? So that was like a free Google Home if you did something, and then he
sign up for New York Times for a month, get a free Google Home. So people signed up. I signed up for like 19 New York.
Whoever wrote the program, like it was supposed to be for New York Times for a year, but they didn't put that in the terms, so. You know, everybody was signing up for a month for like $10 and getting a $120 Google Home at the time. And somebody from the New York Times like freaked out on our blog post about it. And,
so this guy named Stuart, who's like this old, like retired New York Times guy, like started freaking out about telling us.
He used to run the promotions department when we linked
telling them, you know, how they're struggling and how we're trying to bring them down and all this other stuff. How terrible we were for doing that.
Oh, fun times.
Let's be honest. I never got a Google Home, and I paid like $600 because I forgot to cancel all those things.
You know, Steve read it.
Exactly. All we did was boost the New York Times and help them. Help them sell more membership.
Stewie. Yeah.
All right. So this is the MTM Vegas happy hour. So I thought we'd talk about Vegas happy hours, and I guess I should do a shout out to Travel Fanboy because I put his name in the video at the beginning, forgetting that it was in there. But because he's been talking a lot about happy hours in his newsletter, and he has a really great newsletter, and I think that all of us are subscribers. So I mean, that's as much of his endorsement as I can give to him. He's doing a great job with that. So he talked recently about like this Cosmo happy hour, how you could go around to all these different places at Cosmo and for like $100, go to 6 different restaurants, and that was really cool. And so that inspired me to talk. What's our that's $100 TFB for that plug for that ad right there.
Oh, let's be honest. I mean,
No, we all subscribe. We all pay our own money to
Yeah,
subscribe. to
it's $3 a month, well worth it.
yeah, because that was the thing when they first opened Cosmo.
Or $30 a year. So he showed like you could, because they have different happy hours from like depending on the restaurant, like 5 to 7, 6 to 8. So he's like, if you hit this one, go here. This is what I would say get. And he basically does like a 5-course meal, 5 items that you could eat with a dessert, and then 5 different drinks you could have, and it was like $90 including tips. So it's kind of a cool thought exercise.
Tip per year, a green. That's it. I would do that.
All right. So what's our favorite happy hours? Because I thought it'd be fun to talk about that, and hopefully our plug of his newsletter again, that gets me off the hook for all the Circa fanboys and all the other fanboys that he's been charging me for over the years. But you know, he talked. I mean, everybody loves happy hour, right? We like to save money, especially in Vegas where booze is like crazy expensive. Especially lately when booze is even more expensive than normal. Like some of the prices we're seeing, the portions smaller, all that stuff. So the one, well, yeah, I'll go first. Mine is it's one that's pretty well known. In fact, Adam he talked about it during one of his things, but it's Herbs and Rye, which is on Sahara. It's just off the Strip, and they have this happy hour, I think, from 5 to 8, I want to say, every day, where everything on their menu is 50% off. Drinks, steaks, and they have really good steaks, really good food there, and it's very, very well known and very good. First time I did it, I ate there was years ago during the first MtM or Miles to Memories meetup in Las Vegas, before either Mark or Bethany was part of the team. But one of the readers said, "Oh yeah, let's go meet there for dinner," and that was fun. So that's
Good news.
that's a good one. But I know you guys are going to pick ones that are probably on the Strip, right? So more. No, Mark is still he's still stuck in 1990s Flamingo 5-cent beer.
No, I think that was the most Vegas of all the happy hours, you know, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Flamingo used to have it in their Margaritaville bar. From 5 to 6, you could get Miller Lite for 5 cents. I think it went up to like 25 cents at one point or whatever, and I don't even know if it's around anymore with COVID. And I never actually partook because I'd walk by and there'd be like 100 people trying to get beers, and it was just insane. But think about it, you could go up there and be like, give me 10 beers, and they'll be like 50 cents, and you give them like $5 tip or whatever, and you're still like, oh, I got beers for the whole crew, that's cool, you know. It's kind of crazy. But the one I wanted, I've never actually done it, because I said, when Shawn brought up this topic, I was like, I don't think I've ever really focused on happy hour, because either I'm gambling or I'm like already there, so I don't care, like I'm already like at that level that it doesn't really matter to me. But a place I've always wanted to check out was the Downtown Cocktail Room down on Fremont. They have a happy hour from 5 to 7 Tuesday to Saturday, and it's straightforward, 50% off everything, like everything. And a lot of places, the happy hour, they have a select menu. You know, they're like, hey, you can pick these drinks that we make a lot of money on anyway, or aren't that great. Where this one, I think 50% off everything is probably like the best deal you can get. So it looks like a really cool lounge. I've always wanted to go in there, and I never have made it down there. So definitely check that out.
Shawn, was yours 50%? Like
Yeah.
the whole menu?
I'm pretty sure the whole menu it's 50%.
It's not
off.
as cool though. It's not as swing.
They were. I think Herbs and Rye was first. So he just like steals everything
Shawn totally won that.
because he's
How
mad
did
at me
I
because
steal it? I didn't create Downtown Cocktail
Like
Room.
the whole menu.
But you
Shawn-
knew what I picked. You knew, and you just. Yeah, it's very clear.
I've always
that
wanted
he
to go there.
couldn't-
I always wanted to go there for their absinthe. I think they're really well known for absinthe, and that was always my goal. So if you want to do it, go there during happy hour, I guess. There you go. See?
All right, Bethany.
Does your rye place have absinthe? I think not. So I win. Ching ching.
I mean, they don't. Maybe. I don't know.
Now he's just making crap up.
Maybe I'm not. I don't know. We don't know.
Myself every time.
But who doesn't like steak and bourbon 50% off?
See,
Or no, I don't think.
This is Project Design gets me. See there. We don't need happy hour. We're already there.
Yeah,
I mean, happy hour is just like sitting at any table. That's happy hour right there.
the veil gets pierced on the trip down, let's be honest. Haven't you had multiple flight attendants tell you, like, oh, you're already at 4?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I was like, well, you don't know how many I had in the lounge before I got on here, so joke's on you. Oh, the kitty's coming in.
Can't control them. I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah, no, like they like count it because flying in like Delta Comfort Plus where drinks are included. So I want to get my money's worth because that's why I'm there. And she's like, so anytime she come around, I'd be like, just give me two because you're kind of slow. So just give me two. And so
You really
she's
say that?
Like, yeah, I said just give me two. I didn't say because you're slow. I said I'll take two. And she's like, this is your third and your fourth. And I'm like, okay, thanks for letting me know. Thanks for counting, Mom.
You're like, thanks.
Oh,
It does suck when you don't like. I haven't been drinking for a couple of years, and it does suck to like fly first class and not have like a cocktail.
Yeah.
It's just like, especially like everybody else in the first class cabin's getting a cocktail, and you're like, maybe I should. But
another time I flew AA, and the guy was like, I'd be like, hey, rum and Coke or whatever, and he'd just bring like 3 bottles of rum and give us like a can of Coke and be like, you guys do it whenever you need
Oh,
it.
then you like put them in your backpack and
Oh yeah, that's the best. Like especially if you're flying somewhere that has something cool, just ask for 2, and they won't unscrew them. So you put one in your backpack, and then when you get to the hotel, you got drinks to go. So that's a trick. That's a tip right there.
Yeah, ask for a double because they can't legally unscrew them.
Yeah.
Although they've done it on like the mint signature cocktail, so I don't know what that's about.
If it's like a mixed signature, maybe. But a lot of times, even if they unscrew it, they might just twist it, but they twist it back on. So it's like, okay, here you go. Thanks.
where's Sam Marshall out there in the chat? Sam Marshall's famous for the Bombay Sapphire Gin, getting extras on the plane and then pouring them in as he/she goes down the thing between apple teenies lemon drops. Sorry,
Lemon drops. Come on.
I always confuse him and JD from Scrubs, who always got the apple teenies. PDX is like he's like JD, him and his apple teenies or his lemon drops. So, all right. So did I forget what you haven't said yours yet, right?
Okay. So mine is not a happy hour; it's my happy place. So I think it's kind of it's my happy hour. It's the Lisa Vanderpump. What do we call it, Mark? It's like Pomp or what's the name of it?
The cocktail garden? Are you talking about the cocktail garden?
Thank you. You're the best. Okay, so for $75, you can start your night off with a glass of Dom. I mean, I know that it sounds like absurd, but how often do you see glasses of Dom as opposed to like having to buy the whole bottle, right?
I see them whenever I get on an airplane and they give it to me for free or include it with my ticket. That's when I drink Dom.
And then you're like, wow, why is this so expensive when you drink it? But anyway, the cool thing about that is
both of those.
if you did like Founders Card or Status Match from Wyndham or whatever, and you get your $100.
Yeah, you have an extra account. Who knows?
Yeah, but if you get your $100 celebration dinner in Vanderpump, the Cocktail Garden is one of them. So if you've never had Dom and you want to like Instagram it or just like try it once, and you have that $100 cert, there you go. You can try a glass of it, and it won't cost you anything. No, it's not. It's totally not worth it.
It's totally worth it. A glass of and an order of goat cheese balls.
The goat cheese balls are great.
Darn, it's true. I mean, Dom is good.
Come on.
And then those goat cheese balls are good. That is a good combination. All right, that is a good $100 combination.
Who gets fried
That's
cheese
very bougie.
and fried cheese and $75 glass of champagne? Those two things go together well. I know.
So we gave Bethany the assignment of a happy hour, and then she picks a $75 glass of champagne. I love it. Are you excited about the new Vanderpump, whatever they're building in Paris, the Lost of the Diamond Lounge?
It has to do anything with Vanderpump. So yes. Can't wait.
And I will say, I think
so busy.
Yeah, I think the location of that is great. The Diamond Lounge there was it was too close to the casino and kind of a waste of space in my opinion, and it could have been a lot better inside than it was. But I think Paris is one of the most underrated like mid-strip casino hotels. I love it in there. I love the that's actually my wife's favorite place to stay. That we've stayed at. So they have, if you get like not the bottom tier room, but like the next tier, it's actually really, really well done. And I like the light colors inside the casino. The restaurants out on the strip, plus the Eiffel Tower restaurant are all amazing. So I think it's very underrated, especially for Caesar's portfolio. People overlook it all the time.
And it's always comps if you have comps.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the ones that
They treat it like sometimes I'll be comped there and not comped at Link or something. It's like bizarre.
Yeah. I'm like, wait.
Because they want to put you in your place, Mark. Okay.
$1
They want-
Although Link pool room is pretty sweet, you know. So I will say they have that. That's about it.
I was looking at that today, and I thought it was Cromwell for some reason that you got that cool, awesome room. That was Link.
No, it was Link, and the pool is a complete bleep show, especially like during the summer. Just it's like the south end of South Beach. Like it's just craziness and drunkenness and bodies everywhere. But the time we got it was like right when the first weekend the pool opened, so it wasn't busy. It was really awesome, and I would do it even in the winter just to have like outdoor space, especially now with like a mask mandate. You really want that outdoor space where you could have drinks. You can walk over to the bar, get your drinks, bring it back, or a server will come around. It's pretty amazing. That's the only redeeming feature of Link, besides O'Shea's. O'Shea's is awesome.
O'Shea's was fun.
Yes.
You guys introduced me to O'Shea's.
You like O'Shea's? I didn't we have to like bribe you to get you to go inside? Did you?
Oh, yeah.
We still got to get Bethany to Ellis Island. She's never been to Ellis Island, and I brought it up every single
We almost
trip.
got there. Yeah, we almost got her there when we went to Peppermill last time.
Now
But
that
she
they
didn't like
have the
Peppermill.
front
Did you
yard.
I'll go anywhere.
Did you like Peppermill? Didn't you?
No, there I would never go.
Oh, everybody in the chat's gonna flame you so hard. Peppermill's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, I think now that they have the big front yard, that's a really cool spot. Especially if you guys ever go for like a football weekend to watch your Giants and all that. I think it'd be an amazing spot to watch games. Way better than all these people are. We talked about it on the show. Sports books are charging like $75 a chair just to sit there and watch the game. I'd much rather go to a place like Front Yard where you have huge screens and like good food actually and cheap drinks and you don't have to pay.
A minimum,
It's way better.
or is that a charge?
It's not 100% sure, but I'm thinking it's a charge the way it's set up. So
Oh, that's crap.
yeah, even a minute like $80 minimum is kind of crazy for a sports book. Like
That's free.
for
drink.
sitting in a chair right next to other, like you don't have like it's not a table comfortable. At least at Circa you have like a booth and stuff when they charge you. This is just
Marcus,
you're sitting.
like a fanboy. You love.
I do like. I mean, I wouldn't pay if they're charging to sit in just the regular stadium style chairs at Circa. I wouldn't pay for that. No way would I do that. But if you have a group of guys and you want, or a group of girls or whatever, and you want to watch a game and you want to get one of those booths, I think that's worth it. Oh, there you go. Circa fanboy got.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can find all of our Vegas stuff.
But they give you a lot of it. That's the key. They give you a lot. That's the perfect 2 a.m. food. A lot of just whatever, potatoes, eggs. They just give you a ton.
Just go to Hash House.
Hash House is
Okay.
good too. I do like Hash House.
All right,
I love the Bloody Mary that they give you, like the bacon Bloody Mary, and they give you like a huge piece of bacon and toast and stuff.
90 ounces, probably. 90 ounces of nonsense.
Oh, he said it's a charge but includes 2 drinks. Oh boy.
Wait, Bogan, it's a charge plus 2 drinks?
No, like a charge, but they give you 2 drinks for the charge. Like you pay $80 or whatever, $75.
$40 a drink, so it's a steal.
Yeah, it's like going to Glitter Clutch or Glitter.
Yeah, they're giving me something else.
We don't charge cover, but you better buy those 2 drinks as soon as you walk in the door, and they're going to be $20 each for rum and Coke.
Yikes.
All right. Well, this is a fun happy hour. I mean, we're going to be doing this once a month, so I'm kind of excited about that, and it's going to be.
Everything's huge. It's like
Their
Texas.
nachos are
Everything's
huge,
at
and they're very
Peppermill.
good.
It's
Yeah.
like Texas. Everything's bigger at Peppermill. It is.
Kind of true. Kind of true.
It is true.
And that's not something that Bethany appreciates, apparently. But you had good company. Come on, we had good company that night at
Good
Peppermill,
stories.
so.
It was a lot of fun. It's good stuff.
Oh,
Something
he had
that-
so much fun. I'm just not saying, like, I'm not, like, going back there for dinner, you know?
No, it's more of a. I always envision it more as a breakfast place, especially like if you're up at like 5 a.m. and you want to go somewhere and just like down a whole bunch of food and kind of like settle your stomach before you go to bed.
Just
That's where it hits. That's where it hits. But
I just like to hang out with you guys. I don't like ever want to be here again.
All right. Well, let's let's wrap this up. Bethany, thank you so much for coming. As we said, you used to be a senior editor. We'll have to come up with a new title for you, but I always love to just step aside and highlight bougiemiles.com, which is your website and your YouTube channel. So where can people find you when they're not watching this?
BougieMiles.com. It's BOUGIE, same name for the YouTube channel.
Shawn can't figure out how to hit the right prompts.
It's not Bougie.
No, because I'm trying to type it in without hitting something, and then without trying to mute my microphone, and then every time it clicks off, it resets itself. And so, yeah.
Bougie Miles is spelled MTMpodcast.com.
There you go. There it is. Sorry, take it away.
And yeah, same name for YouTube. That's what I really need. So let's go, people.
Yeah, head over to Bougie Miles YouTube channel. So truthfully, I kind of, Mark and Bethany started doing a happy hour show on Bethany's Bougie Miles channel, and it was a lot of fun. And then I basically stole it, and I said, I'm going to steal your happy hour. And then, I didn't really steal it because I took both of you guys.
Because you have a huge audience, but we had such good shows.
Yeah.
Like if you're ever really, if you're ever sick, you have the flu or something, you want to laugh.
There you go.
Just like
we said some very
inappropriate things.
not PC stuff, like inappropriate things. We like those type of jokes. So
notice how Shawn keeps us on the rails, though. He's like, okay guys, we're gonna go now.
Yeah. Oh man, the first one was kind of crazy. So definitely start from the beginning.
That's why Shawn is the industry giant that he is, because he knows how to have a good time, but also tell people, you guys got to wrap it up.
Well, my ego gets hurt if we drop under 60 people or something. No, it's been amazing. We've been at 100 people the whole time, so I think it's been amazing.
Yes, thank you everybody that hung out. I hope you guys had some drinks, had some laughs, got some good knowledge. Downtown cocktail rooms, happy hours better than whatever Shawn said. So 100%, thumbs up that.
You chose the Margaritaville one that doesn't even happen anymore as your first choice, so you don't even get a.
No, because I think that was the most Vegas of happy hours ever. 5-cent beers, that is just the most Vegas thing.
It's like the shrimp cocktail, yeah. It's like the shrimp cocktail.
Back in the day at Golden Gate, and they took it away. What was that? What was the name of that restaurant there? Duar or do you remember?
Duars, yeah.
Duars, yeah. Like the $3 shrimp cocktail.
I think they still have that at the Suncoast if you ever want to head off the strip.
Yeah, that was another when Hard Rock left. That was another, that gambler special, the 777 meal off the menu at where you get steak and shrimp and stuff for $7 or $8.
Wait, I really want to go to the Whale. I really want to go get that the $1 million burger or whatever. And
get we need to talk off. So there's $200 burgers now.
Yes.
And I'm really tempted to go try it. Yeah, there's the one that has the Whale one, which has gold dusted bacon and a lobster tail and Wagyu beef.
And a little bottle of Velvet comes with. Forget about it. Can we go in September? Yeah, we're doing that.
No, there's what is that? Burger Brassier has a $700 burger, but it comes with a bottle of Dom. So that's how they it's the 777 burger or something, and it has all that lobster and stuff mixed in, and then they're and it comes with a bottle of Dom for $500. So
all right, so we can between 10 people. We
can just go to Vanderpump and get. I wonder how many glasses do you get out of a bottle of champagne?
3.5.
3.5. So that's actually cheaper than most places charge for a bottle of Dom if you just get 3 glasses.
That's why I was saying it's a good deal, people. I wouldn't see you wrong.
Best happy hour in Vegas, $75 Dom at Lisa Vanderpump's joint at Caesar's Palace.
She wants to make it affordable for everybody. Way to go. Lisa's the saint,
Followed by $100 burgers. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. If you guys like our content, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on anything. Check out our new podcast. All of our stuff Vegas related are posted on the website, mtmvegas.com. You can find everything there. And Mark and I did a show about the Mark and I did a show about the mask stuff this morning, too, if you want to more in-depth on the mask, what we think is going to happen, all of that. And then we have a regular MTM Vegas news show coming out on Friday, July 30th, that we recorded, and it had some COVID stuff I have to cut out.
I had such a good joke in the COVID stuff, too, and it's got to get cut. Maybe you can put, like outtakes or something at the end.
What was the joke? I don't even remember.
The one where you're like, I didn't think masks were that bad, back in the day. And I was like, because you don't drink or gamble.
And that's a good joke.
It's a great joke.
I'm sorry. Look, we just lost 30 people on the last stream. They were coming here for
No,
comedy.
they all had to go to the bathroom because they just pissed their pants. That's why.
Well,
hang up on us. Okay.
so we haven't figured out the date of our next live stream, but it'll be sometime in August, and we will announce it and beat the drum. But this will be every month, so it's really exciting. Thanks to both of you guys. I'm really blessed to be here with the two of you. And as you say, I'm keeping you on task. I'm really just along for the ride with the two of you, and I appreciate you doing this show, and I appreciate everybody who subscribes. We're at closing in on 22,000 subscribers, 25,000 next, then 50, then 100. Then Mark is going to try to steal my 100K plaque, he said. So.
Oh, this is only Mark level 2, Patty. So you don't even know. You got to come to the meetup. You got to come to the meetup in September.
Yeah. What's the date exactly? What's the 17th? Is it September?
Well, you just the 18th.
18th.
Okay, the 18th.
Better not be the 17th show.
All right, yeah, the 18th of September, and we're going to have more details coming soon for that, and we can't wait to meet everybody. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.